Hi. Tell Jose if he ever gets bored of Bibian. Uh, my DMs are always open.
Don't be such a brute. You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock. My.
Let's dance. Oh no!
Come a little closer.
Got a problem you can't solve. Clue me in.
Who's our target this time? With you all the way. We can do this! strike your foe takes unity between mind, arrow, and bow. To manifest eternity per the almighty Shogun's will. That is what I aspire to.
Is it too low? Is that how's this?
Huh. My intuition tells me that something very interesting is about to happen.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution, Lady Farina, Do you wish?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true? Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I'm shocked. I'm shook.
If we say what?
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, I know you've clashed with the Vtui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies...
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
Oh, so they're
That's right.
spies.
In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, follow your lead however you choose.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the... And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linney experienced, and what he saw. According to Linney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey. See. Linney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth. Lenny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the after.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent. Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that!
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! Ha ha! How do you like that?
Well played.
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Could there have been a third person involved? Is that... The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. No one entered or left the Opera House through... It would have been tough for both... No one entered or left... Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... It would have been tough for both... No one entered or left... No one entered or left the The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must... No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. No one entered or left the Opera House. The deceased's name is Cowell. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider it different? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents. But do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house
No
than
use
an
rushing
awkward
it.
delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless,
I
I
mean-
believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the
primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just...
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, Please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she... Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering... The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. I remember there was something else within the inner layer. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? The water from the primordial... I remember there was something... Now it seems like the hook rope was... The rope that held the water tank up was... Lynette was in the magic box on... The deceased's name is Cowell. The rope that held the water tank... The water from the primordial sea... Now it seems like the hook... Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was some... Now it seems like the hook...
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
Wait.
What?
That can't be.
Bro's framed.
I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime.
That's such a strange reason.
Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon.
Okay, but if they have water that can dissolve people, wouldn't they just dissolve the evidence?
Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
Instead of killing him on stage, he could have just dissolved it, making himself basically free of any blame.
Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view,
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf.
Okay, so they found the girl.
As the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
Not her fully admitting to murder.
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one.
She's a thief we saw from earlier, isn't she?
I steal stuff here and there, and I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee, but then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box.
Okay, so Cowl was...
So I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective. The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but it was smashed. The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily-Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened. Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time.
And it's Ace Detective time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended. She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward, so she has been trapped in the opera house.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
Oh, that's when...
All the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina.
The oratrice is definitely swayed by their emotions, and that's why they have a whole audience.
Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
I mean, the
While
criminal
there is
ended up
much
dying
in
anyway.
Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Victory for Ace Detective Paimon!
Great work, partners. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That
Elaborate.
was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, He was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would
He was being
constantly take me to all
used.
sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Sarita to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine, and we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the...
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
Yeah.
Keep moving!
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In in such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist, to seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways?
Breaking the law?
Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance.
I think that's,
I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon.
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As
As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Partner. I'll see you again, partner.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here.
Isn't that Charlotte? Who's your friend and what are they chatting about?
Be pleased with the cherry on top, Charlotte. Journalist extraordinaire. Please tell me you're joking. I read that a gang of criminals.
You know what? I don't need to have it on push to talk anymore. So this is fine.
It has to be.
Can you hear me now?
I've invested all my savings into graph adversarial technology and even taken out a sizable bank loan. I'm begging you like the beggiest beggar in all
Jesus. So much begging.
I need you to calm down a little, Miss Lapine, Pauline. I admire your passion for your research, and I don't mean to dash your hopes for those,
Is Charlotte a playable character?
But I'm afraid I'm not joking. The Blubber Beast incident was a short story mailed to us by an anonymous amateur author, written in the style of a true story.
It sounds like they're just discussing a story, but why does this Miss Lapine Pauline seem so distressed?
Funnily enough, I actually remember being in a meeting where the editing team was debating the potential risk of misleading the public with this story. They even went to Maison Gardiennage for advice.
But to our surprise, they fully supported us printing it.
Push to talk has been
False intel would be a great way to dupe
not the
potential
easiest thing
criminals
to
into wearing
do.
ridiculous costumes when breaking the law. In truth,
Could you hear me
Gardamex are
sometimes though? Because
extremely
I've been talking
sophisticated
this
in their
whole time.
capabilities. They can identify criminals
Well,
just
not this
as
whole
reliably
time.
as the
Sometimes I
best-hidden
have been
guards.
like on
So a crude
mute.
disguise isn't gonna get you far. If anything, it'll just make you stand out all the more. Since we ran that story, the Maison Gardiennage has made a
Damn.
ton of arrests, including
No.
one phantom blubber beast, a titanic red
This whole first part, I've just been on complete
so I knew the
silent.
story had helped out law enforcement, but this is the first time I'm learning of an innocent citizen being deceived by it and investing so much Mora for nothing.
This is tragic.
Uh-oh. She really sounds like she's in pain. Paimon thinks we should just ask Charlotte what's going on.
Just very little things, random things. I mean, you heard me when I say that I knew that it was that girl that was the thief from the first part, right? I was talking there, but
She read an article in the Steamberg
this
about
push to
criminals
talk
who
thing is a
evaded
little
Gardamex
difficult.
detection by disguising themselves as a blubber beast. Inspired by this story, she spent a lot of Mora researching counter-criminal image recognition technology. Her aim was to improve Fontaine's public security by developing a device that could enhance Gardamex target recognition capabilities. She was hoping I could write an article to spread awareness about image recognition technology. She even paid me for the article and gave me one of her prototype devices before I could get a word in. But unfortunately, it was just a fictional story, and her efforts and aspirations were all in vain. I tried to let her down gently, but she's finding it all very hard to accept.
I'm finding what I just found out very hard to accept. But I mean,
Seems like the author was only trying to make the story interesting, and the Maison Gardiennage only had Fontaine's best interest in mind.
Wait, Miss Lapine Pauline, what are you doing?
I'm gonna pick a fight with a Gardamex, head to the opera at Micles, and get a one-way ticket to the Fortress of Meropide. That way, I won't have to repay my debts. It's the only way I can afford to keep on living.
Jesus, is this like
There's no need to go
this
that
is like
far.
suicide by cop?
Look at you. You wouldn't even did the Gardamex armor. In all likelihood, they'd only hold you up with the Maison Gardiennage for a few days before letting you out, and then you'd still have to repay your debts.
And then you'd have to pay out the
Instead
debt,
of going into the
the
technicalities of that,
bailout debt.
how much did you actually invest? How bad can it really be?
270,000 Mora.
Wait, I have that. I can just give it to her.
To the Fortress of
It's so
Meropide before
easy.
a sum like that seems like a last resort. Surely there must be other options.
Not anymore. I used to be an equipment supplier to the Fontaine Research Institute before that blew to pieces, and now I'm just a small-time engineer. I scraped together some savings over the past few years, but I put every last Mora into this project, and now I'm left with nothing. It's not just my savings that are gone. It's my whole future as a graph adversarial technology specialist and my dreams of becoming a billionaire one day.
Oh, I mean, it'd be like that sometimes.
My life is over.
Don't despair, Miss Lapine.
Girl, I'm broke too. We're all struggling.
This prototype you've given me, the camera lens for image recognition sample collection.
It can still be used.
It's really quite something. You said you designed it specifically for high-fidelity image capture and analysis, yes? The rapid focal length adjustment is a very useful function in its own right. It's sure to make many journalists' jobs much easier. In fact, I'd say it has the potential to revolutionize Fontaine's news media. So your research efforts thus far are by no means in vain. The technology you've developed.
You
may
just
have
gotta
many
change your
applications
audience.
that you've never even considered.
Really?
It's all about perspective.
I've been working as a journalist for the Steambird for a long time now. No one understands the issues we journalists face on a day-to-day basis better than me. So keep calm, take heart, and start thinking about mass production. In the meantime, time, I'll show your invention to all my colleagues to drum up interest in your product.
I can't believe it. If this is true, then I can look into setting up a whole camera lens development pipeline. My big ticket orders and billionaire aspirations are still in the cards. Maybe I should consider taking out another loan.
No, maybe not put yourself into more debt.
Be the first to market and
Why
prepare
don't
to
you
battle
just...
for dominance in the camera industry.
Oh boy.
Come on, stop daydreaming about your pipelines for a minute. Just take it one step at a time and see how it goes. There's no sense in putting all your eggs in one basket before things are even off the ground.
And I can probably speak to some people I know and license my image recognition.
Damn, sis is not listening.
I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner. There's no time to lose. I need to get to work. Early bird gets the worm.
Hi. What's up?
Can you believe her? She just ran off.
Me too.
Clement's pretty sure our advice went in one ear and out the other.
Wait.
It's understandable. When inspiration and passion strike at the same time, it's all too easy to throw yourself headfirst into your work and forget about everyone around you. A lot of journalists are the same way when they're first starting out. But don't you worry.
Alright. Give me a second.
All this, and I'll be checking in on her regularly.
I want to go get some food.
Her research
I'll be right
has the
back.
potential to benefit the entire journalistic community. I'll give her plenty of input to stop her from going down any rabbit holes and make sure mass production of her lens can begin as soon as possible.
It's reassuring to know that you'll be looking out for her, Charlotte.
Never mind.
Oh gosh.
Actually, you know what? Why don't you two take this prototype lens? I'm sure you'll have plenty of chances to use it on your travels.
Bet, new
It takes the
camera.
right person to get the most out of a new technology. In your hands, it's sure to capture some amazing sights.
Thanks a lot, Charlotte. What a nice surprise. We were just curious about what you guys were talking about. Totally didn't expect to get a free gift out of it.
You're welcome. I got something out of this too. The beginnings of a very interesting news story.
Not her using...
The boundaries between real news reports and news-like fiction must not be blurred, even when there's a compelling justification for doing so. Yes, that's how I'll phrase it to the editors when I give them my feedback. Let's hope we don't
Well,
mislead
Gordo was
any
in the
more
middle of
well-meaning
using the
citizens in the
bathroom.
future.
Was this part of an Archon quest or just like a side story to get the camera lens? Whatever. Okay. Now I'm gonna make a wish.
You're a Make-A-Wish?
You're a Make-A-Wish.
No, you.
The or choose my case, then release Cordonal.
Is that... Could that be... I forgore.
What do you mean? I'm gonna make a wish. I just was checking something. I got distracted. But, you know how they have, like, little wish areas? I gotta try it, you know? I mean, I already got a 5-star, so my pity's pretty low. Damn. Alright, alright. Here we go. Damn it. Okay, that's fine. No, I don't like her. Well, there goes my wishes. Oh, and I have C6. Listen, it makes me exhausted. Decreases stamina consumption of Xinyan's charge attacks by 30%. Additionally, Xinyan's charge attacks gain an attack bonus equal to 50. I mean, I guess. I know I have a lot of exploring, but the idea of exploring all of that makes me exhausted. Let me check. What if I just continue with the Archon quest and just go as it?
Did this spoil?
Maybe it's just a cheese.
Mom! Man? Man.
You say it so.
¿Esto se podría?
¿Tú me quieres enseñar tu comida y no puedes venir?
La Paki. Damn it.
I low-key want to try the Abyss. Should I try? Oh. I haven't done the Abyss. Haven't they changed it?
I thought that was me. You suck.
You swallow.
Oh, that's you.
True. The problem is that I've changed a couple of the characters' artifacts, so I don't even know if all my characters are built well enough to... Screw it, let's do it. Alright. Let's see. This is the last time I did it. I got to floor 10. Oh, no, actually, no. I got to floor 11, but I didn't finish it. When characters attack burning opponents, their crit rate is increased by 15. Crit damage increase. Oh, so burning is the meta. I don't feel like doing... what did I do? Okay. Whoops. Anyways. I don't feel like doing any of these since I already got the... Let's just go with this one. Vaporize reaction to vaporize react damage.
Use the bathroom. My goodness. Es que no estaba usando el baño y que de repente yo...
First half, treasure quarters, humans, maybe 2 robots. Second half, bigger characters and more robots. So this one is better for physical attacks. Right? I don't remember how these things go. Hydro, Mimic Boar. pyro.
¿Ya? ¿Ya usaste el baño?
Okay. I'll just swing it. So first half, I'm gonna go.
Ven pa' aquí. Ven. Ven, gordito, ven. Ven, ven, ven. Vente. Sí, ven.
I kind of made my Bennett bad. I think I changed some of his artifacts. So Bennett low-key sucks right now. She also sucks right now, but I could do this. No. I'll do this. And then for the second half, I'll just go this, 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 and
Cierra la puerta.
this. Bennett is garbage.
Va a correr si yo me muevo.
Yeah. This can work. Girly pop? What about girly pop? I don't get it. Oh, my first half? It's all girls?
Está por debajo.
Girl squad. I'm girly pop. Real.
Definitely not.
Character crit rate plus 8% crit damage. Oh, fuck you. Yikes. Okay. Damn. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. It's hard to control them.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Everybody hold hands.
Surrender and I'll be gentle.
Time for your payment!
The first one's always the easiest, right?
A touch of frost.
I'll protect us.
I'm not using my strongest character.
Submit for judgment. Forth my blade. Fracture.
Damn.
Swift and merciful. From whence you came.
Let the show begin.
To be honest, I forgot how I built these characters. Hey, but I still got a 3. Alright.
Everyone hold hands.
Don't be such a brute. You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
Some for you too.
Come on now.
Damn, this is a lot harder. Oh, I can't click as fast.
Almost dodged that. Can't catch me.
Fuck.
Sharing my knowledge. I see everything.
You're in for a little shock. You're in. Oh, my.
Ah, this is where I lose, huh?
Motion to compel. Incinerate.
Why won't you melt?
Admissible evidence.
Okay, I got some pyro. No.
Everyone hold hands. Make yourselves at home.
Try not to enjoy this too much. Don't be such a brute.
And away I go.
That took a lot more effort than I thought it would. Man, this is harder than I thought it would be.
A touch of frost.
This will be easier.
Let's dance. Oh. Ready, steady, go.
Damn, that is not what I was planning on doing.
Spirit blade. Force. But how? Submit for judgment.
already. So beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're a good girl.
Really, I'm just building up damage so that Barbara can just heal it off. Yo, what is your deal?
What is your deal? You're dying.
Nuh-uh.
Spirit blade! Attack! One with my blade!
Cyclone! Fracture!
Not as good as the other one. What do I gotta do? Wait, I don't remember what that does. This one?
You see, you would think by now we would selective breed
Motion to compel.
this to have at least some blessings.
No, because white people aren't into those. White people are all about selective breeding.
Come a little closer.
Can I teleport out? I cannot. Oh, yes, again!
Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock. Don't be such a brute.
Time for your arraignment. Flows through me. Can't catch me. Everyone hold hands. The Temple of Wisdom. Incinerate. Out of my sight. Her Majesty's gift.
Come on, come on, come on. That's what I need. That's not what I want to do.
Surrender and be gentle.
A touch of frost! Submit for judgment!
Man. No!
Outsmarted.
Archie, come on! We can do it!
Damn, these guys have so much HP.
Swift and merciful. Spirit blade. Attack.
I'm sorry, I am stressing. I can't do more than that. That was... Do I automatically have to go to... Oh, I can get this. Man.
You lost.
I didn't lose.
You lost.
I didn't lose.
You lost.
I didn't lose.
You lost.
Nope.
You did.
I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
I saw.
You didn't see anything.
I did.
No.
You.
You're wrong.
I'm right.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so.
I do say so.
Oh, you're wrong.
I was right.
Nope. You weren't.
I was.
You weren't.
I was.
Okie dokie.
Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Oh, there's a voice again.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again? Oof. That's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water. Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Is an oceanid.
Vache. Are you my dear Vache?
How do you not know?
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is? I'm... Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim. I also remember going to many places. I I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vacher would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be. No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vacher, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vacher above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth. Is that what you call it? Dissolving. If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see...
Oh, snap. Oh, oh.
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
It's her.
And
I knew it. All cops are bastards. Oh, never mind. It seems like she's helping him out.
quick, now's our chance.
Okay. Sis is going crazy. She's a magical girl.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
Aw, she was worried about her.
Following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety.
Oh.
And I will not betray his trust.
They've got history.
He would do the same. Were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father.
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Cloran, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech.
Where
I
do
believe we all wish to
Ohio
avoid unnecessary
comes to
emotional harm.
In the grass.
Amsterdam.
did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come
Girl,
to the
you
conclusion
missed
that
it.
I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances.
Or, I mean,
is very
have you seen
powerful.
that scene?
Your
It was
performance
really
tonight
cool.
will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me.
I was shook. I was shooketh.
And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated
A little more
with the
ahead.
Miss
So,
Alpha
am I
Renage
spoiling
could
anything?
control
Should I stop?
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the
She
authorities
checked
to
while she was
enforce the
killing
law.
them all.
I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means.
Yeah. But like, once I get to that spot
What? Your point
where
being
you're
that they're
at,
out of
you
speed
said
and
you're
Russell
just a
is
little
league
bit
then?
more ahead.
Yes. Be careful and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarant. But
I think they're
if you have
lovers.
any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, Mom.
See, I'm not the only one that thinks so.
I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you.
Daddy
If we
issues.
tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
No, I think they're lovers.
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Corin who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast.
Sis was luring them into
still
like
partners.
keeping
There's
working
no
with
need
her.
to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
I kind of want her as a character now, though. I want them all. I want them all.
Long ago.
The god just got me again.
Right, you
I've
two.
fallen into.
That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
What will I
You sure
do?
did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Oh
Really? Paimon contributed to that?
no, not Cookie Run. I'm not playing Cookie Run.
Yes. All thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said.
Well, you see,
that the Fanta
Cookie Run
tasted
is
kind of salty and icky.
You know.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
Oh, so they were planning to
With water from the primordial sea?
get her. They were trying to kill her off.
So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the
Damn.
boss.
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace
Block
at
them,
all.
Vivian. Block
That's
them.
when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
Chop, chop.
Why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their
Thank
name
you,
in the
thank you.
process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, know, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Like she wasn't trying to.
You did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right?
I guess.
And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Linek, what? Is that close enough to run to? I think it is not. I want to kind of take, like, you know, the whole boat. This time maybe not end up going in the wrong direction. It's a doggy. Screw it, I'm just teleporting. Shh, I wasn't trying to kill it, I was trying to give it a bath. Are you trying to drug them?
Well, I was learning hockey, but honestly, it's
It does. He likes it.
It's right up ahead. But let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
Relax, you're gonna hurt yourself.
He likes it.
Yeah, he's trying to dig his whole face into the can. Ven, gordito, ven.
I thought I was gonna die there.
Mira, ven. Mira cómo reacciona con uno, mira. Tráelo. Tráelo. Mira cómo, mira.
Ay, ¿cómo es posible que tanta caca que tienen ahí que
Apenas
no le
cagó.
limpien? Pero eso es
Ok,
una exageración.
ya.
Oh my god,
No! Mine.
Ey, te vas a atorar.
This just looks like,
Ey, fuck.
Does she live here?
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
No, for real.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Interesting.
But
The plot
I do not
thickens
believe
once
my
again.
father was a murderer. I'm sure he was
Oh,
not.
you're way ahead.
At the
Okay.
time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly
Sis is probably like
something amiss would
halfway
crop up
finished with
and
the
prove his
whole
innocence.
Archon quest.
But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did it. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself. The closest piece of info I have is that
Shut
my
up.
father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
So that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that
Ah, so they were plotting on him.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in. I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive.
Well, we all know that he didn't kill his friend, and it's probably gonna be
Died
that
due to
like
complications when giving birth to me.
he was framed and stuff.
Here I am investigating his death.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone.
Wait, so are they just being her
None who I
servants for
respect more than
free?
the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life.
Out of
yet
pure loyalty?
all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our support was decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our constrained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People
Nah,
love
it's
watching the evil
exclusive
turn over a
to
new leaf,
Fontaine.
but they also
They made it a
enjoy
whole
watching good people
spectacle.
fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... Never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
Right.
There is
Poor
one
Callus.
other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Miss Cloran.
Wait, the police?
Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Cloran has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena,
I mean, I guess.
there was only ever one choice.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Cloran told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety. Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end. Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's feet.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
I think I'm gonna call it there. Oh. I have so many to claim. Wait, look, I have these two. This one, this one, this one, this one. That's it, mostly. I want to keep... Yeah, I'm going to wait to claim more. Oh, I also have mail. What's this? Oh. I haven't done check-ins. Overall, I don't have that much right now. I have 263 after I did that poll. And I have a lot of world exploration to do. Maybe in my off time, when I'm not streaming it, I'ma collect the treasures and shit. And then after you claim all, you gotta do the math. True, true. That way I can see how much I've collected. I mean, I could also check on the little traveler's journal thing from Hoyo app. Oh, actually no, it just says overall, doesn't it? I need to collect more little artifacts so I can upgrade the, Oh, hello. I know I gotta explore, but there's just so much and I'm just so overwhelmed. Okay, I am gonna call it there because I just am getting tired. I know, but I didn't expect... Actually, you know what? I just got bored of the game for that one instant, and then, cause like I low-key didn't really like the Sumeru quests, And then like I was waiting for like there to be a full Archon quest like development, and you know how like when they're initially releasing the Archon quest, they don't release it all at once. They release it in little updates. So I was just like, I don't really wanna until like a good chunk of updates has been released. And then once I started waiting, it was officially like, I don't feel like playing this game anymore. But now I've gotten into it. Now, you know, I want to build my characters again. Wanna, you know, it'll be cool. It'll be dope. I'll do all the little extra stuff or whatever. Yeah. Haha, tease. You're what? Right, your characters. Are you just building the characters that you find hot? Yeah, I knew it. Morax. You know who I really wanna... I started low-key leveling up... Where is she? I started low-key leveling up Mona. I can ascend her, actually. Oh, and she's ascended. Just like that. What are good artifacts for her? I'm thinking, the... Oh, actually, maybe I have some. Oh. I already have her on some artifacts. I got her on this little book. She's already doing 1,000 attack on level 50. So I'm guessing I can... She's gonna be pretty strong for me. And talents. When are these? Tuesday? Oh, today's Tuesday. Do you have to sleep soon? You wanna help me? You wanna help me grind some of these books? Fine, I'll do it by myself. But that's so fun. Unless I wait until Friday. Yikes. Up by 8. Ew, what's it like having a job? I'm joking, mostly. I don't know.
One step closer. Maybe soon I shall finally uncover the truth of this world.
You're right. I'll do some now. I'll do that once I get off. Because I also need a snack. I haven't eaten almost all day. But that's mostly been on me. Ooh, boo. Not you guys still trying to drug him. Alright. I will give my send-off by killing this old lady. You know what? Goodbye.